Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of GTM On-The-Go by Storylane. I've got Max LÜPERTZ.
Of course, this usually happens during the first discovery conversation you have together with your customers when you're trying to experience, okay, what is your maturity level when it comes to the problem, the solution, whatever they have in mind. And one question I oftentimes tend to ask when customers coming to us is, what did you type into your Google search window that brought you to us? Because when you look for the search term they use in Google, you can really understand their mental thought process, what they were looking for, and this really helps you to tailor your approach to your customer, because there really is a big difference in understanding if they are aware of a problem or not yet aware of a problem. What else have you tried to solve the problem that the two of us have identified here? So you can really talk with them about real facts and things they have done in the past versus coming up with a super hypothetical, future-based business case that might not ever be true. As well, when they say, well, we haven't tried anything yet, we never tried to solve that problem, this is also a good indicator for you maybe to say, is it a real problem or not? If we haven't solved it, why didn't you solve it yet? Because it's just merely important, you didn't know there's a solution available. So this really again helps you to get another angle on the problem and really tailor your approach based on the feedback you get here, rather than again coming up with very hypothetical scenarios like, would you use something like this or that? Rather talk about what they have done in the past and make it about them. If the customer's in the early stages, you need to frame your demo in a completely different way. So if they're not aware of a problem, instead of pitching a solution to them, pitch the problem to them first and what might be the impact and cost of an action. Because if they don't know the problem, why should you tell them a solution to a problem they are not aware of? The next thing is how to create some urgency there, because apparently they know about the problem but they haven't acted because they do not think and do not perceive it as important. Then you can ask them and tell them about markets are shifting, there are some emerging trends competitors are doing to increase that urgency. And only then you can go into solution mode. There are some manual processes they could do, but they could also purchase some software. There are various options, and it's your job to outline the different options with pros and cons without hard selling your own stuff right away. Maybe with a little bias, provide a good overview of the market, pros and cons, position yourself in that frame. And when you have identified that there's a vision match, that what you're doing perfectly fits to what they need, you can go into, hey, this is how the solution works in detail, these are the workflows. To me, it's a lot about managing expectations up front, stating in the agenda, look, at first we're going to look at, let's say, the business impact and the more strategic goals to resonate with top management, because top managers usually have only very limited time and oftentimes they leave the meeting after 15 minutes, so you want to make sure that you address them. Let's dig a little deeper into the technical details. You could potentially even say to other people, hey, probably we're going to touch that topic in 20 minutes, so you can either idle or stay with us, but it's going to be in the second half. And I think the key ingredient to not making it too complex and too technical is to not explain everything to them up front. So always give a high-level illustration, explanation of how things work, and then let your customers ask questions how deep they would like to go. Because if you explain everything up front, you make it super complex and you go down the rabbit hole, potentially providing too much attack surface. Remain on a higher level, let them come to you, and based on their question and their feedback, you can go deeper if needed with integration and IT people, for example, because they always want to know how this works specifically with their setup. But leave that room for engagement. That's important. So we all know that buyers have become more independent and that they are a little bit more hesitant nowadays to join a qualification and then a discovery call before getting their hands on a product, which probably also includes a 30-minute PowerPoint presentation before they get to see something. So demo automation on the one hand is really great to just showcase something to people who just come to your website for the very first time and give them a direct feel for how your software works in detail. And then they can still decide on, okay, let's jump on a discovery call, and during that you can maybe extract even some further insights. But it's also important to share something with your champion on customer side so they can present something to the other stakeholders internally and do the selling for you. So it's a great tool. I see there are lots of companies picking this up, but you need to do it right in all fairness.